In the 1880s, nestled high in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado, a small town named Como was quietly growing into a Colorado rail powerhouse. While just a small forgotten dot on the map now, in the 1880s, Como was arguably the heart of Colorado rail travel, featuring a massive 19-stall roundhouse and over 26 trains passing through daily. This is the story of a booming rail town turned ghost town, and what still remains today. In 1876, a significant coal vein was discovered around a mile from present-day Como. The development of this coal mine led to the formation of the South Park Coal Company. The Denver, South Park, and Pacific Railroad owned over 87% of the company, given coal's vital source as locomotive fuel. A town was plotted by the railroad in 1879 on the former site of a Colorado ranch. The early inhabitants were primarily Italians working the nearby coal mines, mostly from Lake Como in Italy. Thus, that is where the town took its name. But it wasn't long before the railroad had bigger plans for Como. When the Denver, South Park, and Pacific DSP&P Railroad went looking to find an anchor point for their rail services, they found Como sported the perfect geographic footprint. Nestled high in the mountains centered between Denver, Business Hub, Leadville, Silver Hub, and Gunnison Coal, Como had a strong geographic location to develop rail operations. Thus, in 1879, the rail depot you see here went up within Como. A hotel was put up next to the depot, and while the original burned, the one you see here was built in 1897. But the real craftsmanship came next. In 1881, a group of Italian immigrants put their skills on display. The Italian stonemasons hand-built this original stone roundhouse. Within a few years, the success and traffic of the routes caused Como to emerge as a major rail hub. The rail roundhouse was expanded, with wooden wings being built on either side of the stone roundhouse to expand capacity. By the late 1880s, Como was handling up to 26 trains passed through per day. Trains left via the Boreas Pass to Breckenridge, Kenosha Pass to Denver, and Alpine Tunnel to Gunnison. However, like many rail boom towns, the good times would not last. In 1898, the DSP&P was folded into the Colorado and Southern C&S Railroad. Como still remained important, but became a secondary hub relative to Denver. But things unraveled quickly. In 1909, a fire broke out in Como around the back shops used for locomotive maintenance. Importantly, the major engine repair shops in Como burnt down. Como loses its spot as the premier engine maintenance facility as heavy engines simply moved to Denver. Within a year, the Alpine Tunnel caves in and that portion of the rail line is ripped up. Another devastating fire occurred in 1935 with a spark from a locomotive allegedly lighting a bird nest on fire in the roundhouse. This ignited a fire that burnt down all of the wooden additions to the roundhouse. This seemed to seal Como's fate. By 1936, C&S petitioned to abandon their South Park track. By 1937, the last passenger train left Como. Within 2 years, all rail had been ripped up, the depot and the roundhouse being abandoned. Time wore on harshly for the former rail town sitting in the Rockies. A town of hundreds around 1888, Como became a ghost town virtually overnight after the last train rolled out. The former hotel, depot, and roundhouse sat forgotten about. This excerpt from the June 1981 Rocky Mountain Rail Report newsletter highlighted a visitor's summation of what Como had become. If your travel plans include any expeditions across Colorado in the future, stopping to vanquish hunger pains at the Como de Depot at Como may be worthy of consideration. The Como Roundhouse sits nearby, of course, looking more forlorn every day. The building and grounds are for sale for a reported $50,000. It is sad to see such a memorable part of our state's railroad history reaching the point of no return. In 1983, the remaining derelict buildings and roundhouse were added to the National Register of Historic Places. In 1984, Bill Kazel bought the property with the intent on saving it and spent extensive resources restoring it. The roundhouse was in sad shape, with the roof caving in and damage from both the fire and subsequent use as a sawmill. The building was stabilized. In 2001, the land was sold again to Kathy and Chuck Brantigan, and the new owners in 2017 installed a turntable back to the roundhouse, allegedly the original turntable, missing a few pieces. The roof was restored, windows replaced, and engine bay doors rebuilt. The roundhouse had effectively been saved, and the rail history of Como lives on. Many thanks to those who have spent their time, sweat, and resources restoring this historic piece of rail history. You can help support this mission by donating at southparkrailsociety.org. No affiliation with this channel.